Welcome into the college kickoff preview. We're less than 28 hours away from South Carolina and Clemson both kicking it off. Be interesting to see what tomorrow ends up bringing. I imagine there'll be 3 times where you can hear the Clemson crowd from a mile away, and that'll be when they run down the hill, when they score the touchdown the first drive, and when Trevor Lawrence takes the field. I think much anticipated, much hype. 6'6", long arm, long hair, long body, quarterback. More hype than I've seen probably, I don't know, maybe since Jadeveon Clowney, maybe. But a whole different role as a leader on the offense. If you want to look up the word domination in the dictionary, this is what it's going to be tomorrow. Clemson will annihilate Furman, defensively and offensively. I expect Kelly Bryant to look sharp his first 2 or 3 drives until Trevor Lawrence gets in here. And that'll be the biggest question, what Trevor Lawrence looks like at game speed. I'm sure they'll run a lot, but I'm sure they'll want him to put it up. You know, they got some speedsters on the outside, and see how sharp he is. You know, how well he reads defenses and how well he hits the spots. On defense, I'd hate to be on any offensive team member of Furman, because that front 4, front 7, they're just going to, eat Furman's lunch up front. And if you try to run the ball, you're going to get killed. And if you try to throw the ball, you better get rid of it quick. Should be an interesting game as far as that aspect. Other than Trevor Lawrence coming out, if there wasn't a Trevor Lawrence story, I don't think there'd be anybody in the stands past halftime. SO Club would probably set the record of most chicken wings sold by 3 o'clock. It's just the way it is. Next week will be the test. Texas A&M hung 70 plus on a directional school last night. Games in College Station. Everything will be a lot quicker, a lot faster, a lot louder, a lot bigger. So this is a good tune-up just to get some of the young guys into motions and definitely get Trevor Lawrence's feet wet. I imagine Clemson will win by as much as they want to. And that being said, it's probably in the 60s to very little. Maybe a little backdoor in the game score for Furman, but I wouldn't expect much more than that. South Carolina, who knows? Who knows what they'll do? They play Georgia next week, so new offensive coordinator Brian McClendon's in there now. I don't expect to see a lot of wrinkles. What you will see is Deebo Samuel back on the field. The explosive playmaker for South Carolina, who was kind of the heartbeat of the early wins last season before he went down in the Kentucky game. We'll see what he can do, from the special teams to, wide receiver. There's a group of wide receivers this year that may be as good as anybody in the SEC. Brian Edwards is solid. The Smith boys are solid. The Van kid coming in. Casey Crosby plays tight end, but kind of can play slot as well. So a lot of options for Jake Bentley. The backfield with A.J. Turner, Rico Dowdle, Tyshawn Williams. All 3 of those are solid guys. The offensive line's the key. Of course, tomorrow they'll probably look good against a Coastal Carolina team that's coming off a 3-9 season. But the following week's Georgia. Defensively, it's going to be interesting. Some new guys in the defense. Another year in Will Muschamp and Tavares Robinson's system. We'll see if there's improvement. Should be some new guys. J.C. Horn, Joe Horn's son, will be playing in the secondary, and Jameis Williams has moved around, a little undersized, but maybe they can find a nickel spot for him, or maybe a free safety spot where he can keep everything in front of him. Probably won't be a lot. Jake Bentley will, I'd imagine, play a half. Michael Scarnecchia will come in and play. The good thing about this new red shirt rule is freshmen can play 4 games without penalty of losing a year of eligibility. So you may even see the Carry-On Joyner in there. That'll be exciting, something to talk about. Not the level of Trevor Lawrence, but in the state of South Carolina, was a real solid athlete. Played real well at Fort Dorchester, beat Dutch Fork last year, actually. One of the few losses Tom Knotts has had at Dutch Fork. So we'll see. I expect a lot of running, a little bit of passing, solid base defense, and get prepared for the Georgia Bulldogs next week. Another game that's probably going to be a landslide. I'd imagine like 56-14. You never know with that because they could just run the clock out in the fourth quarter and get on out of town. But, they can score at will, I believe, especially with the athleticism on the outside at wide receiver. So really two snooze fest, but it's kind of like when you're hungry and you're starving for football, or when you're starving in general, a Little Caesars pizza ain't bad. You're not going to eat that on Friday night. But if you're hungry on Tuesday, you eat a Little Caesar. So there's two little hot and readies coming tomorrow at noon, and two good blowouts to get the crowds pumped up for what's going on the rest of the season. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll be back soon.